Howdy folks, Turtle here, and welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator, and today we're going to conclude the New Caledonia bush trip, legs 6, 7, and 8, the antepenultimate, penultimate, and ultimate legs. Should be pretty simple. I don't know why I'm wasting time talking, let's get going. Alright, coming down here, repair and refuel, and where are we headed? We're headed to Whiskey Delta, which may be that one. Maybe not. We'll find out when we get down there. So what do we need to do? First, we're going to look at where we are, since we just started this video. And the beautiful, beautiful New Caledonia. The scenery is amazing, except for one little spot where the little village looked like X-Plane 9. But other than that, or even FSX. But worse than FSX. But other than that, it's like 9.5 scenery, almost 10 out of 10 scenery. Just checking out the mountains in the background. Oh, wow, just amazing. But anyway, we're here to fly a plane. Let's see, here we got one set of flaps. Yes, we do. We need to set this to GPS. Is it going to work? No, 176 miles away it says we need to go, which is not true. So we use heading bug to, hello. Why is your plane facing that way? Why do they do that to us? We're going to set the heading bug, use that with GPS. Although I don't think it's going to work if I go all the way around. I think, yeah, see, it stops. So we'll have to change that later. Anyway. Okay, cool. Sorry, I had a few days off from recording from the previous leg that you saw. So I'm just trying to get my bearings here. Often I'll take a really long, really late night, and I will try to record entire bush trips at once and then edit them later and split them up for release, which has led to some like 5-6 hour nights, which is a long night till like 2 in the morning. But it's been a couple days, so I'm trying to regain my bearings here. Okay, we got that set up. We're going to use autopilot. I don't think we need to go that high because we can go around that mountain. So let's stick with 4,000 feet this time. I think we were doing 5, but let's try to do 4. Flight director, we're going to use heading bug because GPS is broken right now, kind of. And we're going to go kind of aggressively just because we can. Flaps down, all set. Let's read about where we're going here. Take off from the airport and set a course to the southeast. Fly over the bay, passing just to the west of a small circular island, Poem Island. That's right here, right behind us in the water. And these are, oh, now they're off by 4 POIs. So 20 is actually 32. Okay, whatever. That's going to happen right away. So then after that, we're going to look for land, maintaining course to the southeast, going parallel to the coastline, flying just inland of the coast. Gain a visual of the Comac River in the distance. The town of Comac lies where the river meets the ocean. So we're turning around, and we're going to see where the river meets the ocean here. So that's not an airport. Man, they are way off on their descriptions, but that's okay. We know how to do this. We don't need to worry about the POI numbers. I just wish that the collapses would stay collapsed. They fixed the timer. The timer will stay running now, but they haven't fixed this yet. Okie dokie. Turn around, look for a small island, and look for a small town. Pretty straightforward. And we'll see if we can get some good landings. Oh yeah, the landings were getting better. I remember that. Still not great. The Diamond Aircraft and I are still not best friends, but we're getting to know each other. And by the time we learn each other, the bush trip will be over. Brakes to stop the wheels, gear coming up, hand flying out of here, and flaps coming up, and turn. Whee! Let's not stress the aircraft, it'll make us start over the leg. And we're just going to make a sharp U-turn here because we can. Head that way. There's the island we're looking for. And then the village is right. No, village is on the other side of the mountains, isn't it? Yeah. We'll get there. We'll get there. There we go. There's not a ball to step on, but there's a dash under the triangle to step on. I want to keep that under the triangle. And that's how you know if you're coordinated. Alright, we're going to go alongside that. Where'd it go? There's island over there. We're going to go alongside the island. Let's zoom this in a little bit. There we go. And then we're going to go... Maybe we'll go on inland around those mountains this time instead of on the coast. Because everything we've done so far is on the coast. I'm kind of disappointed they don't have us going inland very much on this bush trip. It's all coastal things, which is kind of a bummer. Let's fix this heading bug to where we really want to go, which is pretty much right there. And let's engage autopilot now, please. There we go. Very smooth handoff. Can't even tell. Let's not hit that mountain. Wait a second. That's not what I said. No, I said over here like this. That was weird. It's working though. Now it's working. Huh. Don't know what I was doing, but we're fine now. Let's hop outside, have a look. Ooh, that's beautiful. Let's actually save this for a possible screenshot. Have a look outside a little bit here, and then we'll do some sightseeing. You all know how this works by now. I assume you've watched at least the first 2 videos of this bush trip, but we'll read about some things, fly there, do some sightseeing in between to cut down the time for you. There's no circular island. Cut down some time for you all, but you don't miss anything at the same time. So that's the plan. We will jump to that in a second after we enjoy the island together. If I could still cycle and if I could fly here, I would take a bicycle from one side to the other without breaking a sweat. Back in my cycling days, I would cycle 27 miles every day after work with 2 kids in a burly trailer on a hybrid bicycle. 27 miles every day. They would take their afternoon naps in the bike trailer. It was beautiful. And then on weekends, I would do 40 to 50 bikes, 41 to 50 miles, depending on how I felt, every Saturday. Sometimes with the kids, sometimes not. I'm looking at this river go through. So I know I can handle the 40 miles. I could have, before my heart condition, could easily handle the 40 miles, not break a sweat, even through the hills and mountains. I was such a great hill climber because of the kids in that burly. I would pull up again next to guys in full kit on their road bikes on a hill, and I would pass every single one of them with kids in the trailer, 2 kids. Oh man, I had guys that get mad at me because they couldn't keep up with me going up a hill when they're on a road bike in full kit. I was a hill climber. Loved it. But then I started fainting. And why am I telling you this? Because I want to. It's kind of interesting. Maybe not. I don't know. Let's keep an eye on our heading here as we go over this around the mountain and head towards the village. When we get here, we'll cut across to the village so we can see it. And then when we get there, we'll keep reading. But we got some time before we get there, so let's enjoy the turbulence. But yeah, so then I started fainting because of my heart condition. I didn't know it was heart condition for 15 years. I was riding with some friends. We were doing a 60-mile trip, as fast as almost a sprint the entire way. And I fainted, but I was going so fast. I was still riding upright. Came to, decided to go home. They actually were preparing for a century, so they actually ended up going like 80 miles. But we'll look at that speed of them. And then I used to ride at 5:30 in the morning before work every single morning. After the kids got older and I wasn't doing the afternoon stuff anymore, I started doing morning stuff. First of all, it's amazing how crazy busy it is for exercise people outside at 5:30 in the morning. It's ridiculous. I guess I was one of them. But then I fainted, hit a tree. And a few days later, I was riding, fainted, hit the exact same tree. Exact same tree. So then I decided I shouldn't be riding like that anymore. And then a year or so later, I was riding with my kid. And I fainted and hit a fence. And decided that it's time to not ride, at least not ride hard. So now I ride very calmly and, I don't know, trying not to be bored, but it's boring. I did go on one hard ride a couple months ago, and my 14-year-old outrode me like I was an old man. We went 30 miles, super fast. He didn't even start sweating. Man, his bike is a piece of crap. I don't know how he was able to do it. But man, if I could still ride like that, we'd be pushing each other all the time. So anyway, there's your story time. I have no problem telling stories because a lot of you come back here for stories at the Tall Turtle channel, and I haven't been telling many because I'm afraid I'm boring people. But when I'm watching content and people tell stories unrelated to the content, I just love it. I wish people did it more. So I guess I can just contribute to it. There's that airport that we're not landing at. And I'm looking at these mountains out here. Look at the sun rays coming through. Man, and those of you who have not been in planes at altitudes like this, in mountains, this is exactly what it looks like. Like, this isn't like, oh, we should reshade it with a mod, or we should do, no. This is exactly what this looks like if we were in real life. The only sucky thing is the planes and Flight Sim 2020, whatever you want to call it, are too cartoonish for me. I don't like that. And see how the edges get that little glow. It's like some weird anti-aliasing compromise thing. So the airplane itself screws it up. But this out here, if I gave this image to you next to a real photo, you would not be able to tell, I promise. I promise you would not be able to tell. Because people have done that. And sometimes the sim looks better than real life. I'm not kidding. So anyway, there's our village. Look at that. It's more than a village. It's a huge town. Huge town. Beautiful. Super beautiful. And then we got the outliers here. Alrighty, cool. Alright, let's hop inside and make our heading bug do something else here. Go around these mountains without hitting them. Whoops. So we'll go like that. And then we'll read about what is happening next. I want to look at those mountains as we read here. So now we're going to go along Route 1 and parallel the highway to the community of Caledonia, which lies inland. Okay. So there's another community, which is right here behind the mountain in front of us. So right there. And after that, we're going to continue on Route 1, following... Nope, we read that one. Pick up Route 1. Yeah, inland beyond the small bay. Then there's another one. So... why won't this work? There we go. So then there's another town after that, which isn't on the screen yet. Right here. And then we'll keep reading after that. So 2 villages, giving you some sightseeing. Now I'm going to stop talking. I have more stories, but I won't tell them all in one video. Check out the snow-capped mountains there. So village here, village there. We'll see if we see any village people from the air, and I'll see in a little bit. Alright, we're almost going to reach the next community, so let's hop outside and have a look. Oh, I see it here. Peeking through the trees. Maybe we'll be over enough we can see it from the window. Whoops. I doubt it, though. Anyway. There it is. Just a little community. I guess we'll stay here and wait for it and have a look. Whoops. Let's control it. Come on. Let's control it. There we go. That's good. And there's a little tiny community we wanted to look out for. Man, oh man, that is small. That's what she said. But you know what? If it's a good place to live, it's a good place to live. These people, this was too big for these people. So they moved out. Beautiful. Alright, well, there's like a track down there. Check that out. Zippity zippity. Alrighty, let's hop inside and let's control our heading bug. And then we'll read about where we're headed. And then that must be our airport there. So let's actually, just aim alongside here. Because we're going to want to not hit the mountains, then we're going to want to land. So let's read about what's going on. Okay, airport is after the next bit of land. So, well, yeah, it's after the mountains. Okay. Just getting an idea of where the heck we are here. Oh, right. A small bay, town. Okay, here we go. Maintain a course to the southeast, flying inland of the coastline. No, we're going to stay on the coastline. Sight a prominent peninsula in the distance. Yep. That was this thing here. The Vaux Peninsula. The town of Vaux lies just inland of the base of the peninsula, which is like right there. Vaux is supported by the nearby Caledonia nickel mine. Lots of nickels. And then from here, a couple minutes away, we're going to fly over the mine. That's going to be cool. And then gain a visual of the bay. And then the airport is just inland of the bay along Route 1. So there's the highway, there's the airport. Shouldn't be too difficult to spot. Plus we got this thing to tell us where to go. So do we really want that heading? Yeah, we do. We're going to fly around here. The mine must be in here. And then there's the airport. Shouldn't be too terribly difficult. But we can't see from here because this is all in the way. So it's right behind there. Yeah, that's how we're going to handle this. So back to some sightseeing. Hopefully enjoy the sights and see you in just a moment. Alright, checking out that awesome wind turbine farm, and then we'll be getting ready to land. Quick and simple as that. I don't see the airport yet, but it's right where this little thing sticks out, which is right in here. So we're going to want to come down in altitude fairly soon, maybe even now, because we're crossing over this little hill below us. So here we go. Whoa, that was trimmed weird. Let's do throttles down. Throttles back so we start descending. There it is. There's a runway right there. Okay, cool. So throttles back so we descend. Adjust speed with the nose. We don't need to slow down quite yet though. Or maybe we should slow down. That is your airport, right? Let me use the reference image. Oh yes, that's it. Okay, cool. We're just going to follow this highway. See the highway winding through right along there like it's supposed to. So that's pretty cool. Let's bring back throttles all the way so that I can pitch up to slow down while we descend and take on all the turbulence. And this is the antepenultimate leg. Pre-antepenultimate is fourth from last. Antepenultimate is second from last. Penultimate is... Wait, did I say that wrong? I said that wrong, I think. Pre-antepenultimate is fourth from last. Antepenultimate is third from last. Penultimate, we all know, is second to last. And ultimate is last. For real, that's really how they go. I love using those words. Of course, the British use penultimate constantly. In the United States, only like nerdy academics use penultimate. I am not a nerdy academic. I use penultimate. Oh, beautiful. But we gotta stop looking around. Oh, what's that? Mine stuff, maybe? They did say we were gonna fly over the mine, so... We must have. Gear down. First set of flaps. Coming into land. We have a Pappy. Although the last time we had Pappy was all red all the time. That was weird. Maybe this one will change. But these airports are so small, and with the trees nearby, full flaps, it is challenging to rely on the Pappy sometimes. Because you don't want to hit the trees. They're not freebies. They used to be in the early days of the simulator. Trees are freebies. But then they fixed it, and now trees will crash you, and then you gotta start the leg over. Or from the last save point now, I guess. You don't have to go all the way back to the beginning of the leg anymore, like you used to. Sometimes you'd crash, you have to fly your way back to the leg, and then restart the leg for it to count. It was very complicated. Our speed is perfect. Hopefully we can stay that way and not stall 10 feet above like I have been for every flight, which has been okay. We've been having smooth touchdowns that don't even register on the VSI, but we don't really want it to do it that way. Here we go, round out a little bit. Nice and gentle, ground effects, perfect. And now it's not stalling until it's supposed to. Wheels wheel down gently, and a perfect landing. Okay, that was weird. Did you see what happened there? For all of the previous legs, it was stalling at like 76, 75 knots. And that one stalled right on the red tape like it was supposed to. Maybe because we're lighter, because our fuel is less. But, I don't know. Anyway, moving on, penultimate leg, here we go. So we'll come down here, repair and refuel. There we go. And zoom out a little bit. And Whiskey Bravo, is that where we're going? It is. So, not that long of a leg. Anything we need to do? Yeah, we gotta get our flaps reset. Where do they put us on the runway? Okay, we need to back taxi a little. Yeah, just a little. Or else we're gonna crash. So here we go. Whoopsies. Let's do some more autopilot. We're gonna go like that. Wait. Nope. The GPS is not the right spot. Heading bug. Vertical speed will go up, I don't know, 1100 feet per minute, because why not? And heading bug itself for now. No, it's not. We want to go this way. And then we'll read about where we're going. It looks like we've got some POIs that are close to us. So let's back taxi while we read. Let's do that. There we go. Come on. Parking brake's on again. Okay, cool. We're going to launch off from the airport and fly to the south-southeast, skirting the shore of the bay. Fly over Tarbeville, which lies just inland of a small coastal prominence. I guess these are all 3 minutes apart. Let's do 2 at a time. So from Taberville, gain a visual on Mueo Bay, which is divided by a small peninsula. The town of Napoyai lies at the head of the peninsula. Okay, cool. So come in here a second and look. To one town there, then another town at the base of a low peninsula, I guess it said. So that's where we're headed. Make sure our flaps are down 1, because as soon as we turn around, we're going to do a turn and burn. And then we'll fly out of here by hand a little bit, and then we'll engage autopilot for some more sightseeing. Use the heading bug to tell us where to go. And around and around and around and around we go. Come on, quit skidding on your front wheel. That's my fault. And away we go. Airspeed is alive. What are we at? 65 in a moment. And 70 and 82 right there. Pop up. Step on the brakes. Wheels coming in. And flaps up. Ooh, do you see that mountain up there? Look at that. Goodness gracious. I'm trying to look around while we fly out of here, but don't want to crash either. So let's head to our first small town. And then we'll go to the second small town, and then we'll read what's next. So gonna hand it off to autopilot in just a moment. I'm just enjoying hand flying. I would prefer to hand fly all these bush trips, but then it's harder to make video content that is enjoyable. But if I hand fly everything, just look around like this and talking the whole time, which some of you might like, but it's a bit much, even for me. So here we go. I think we're good. Let's actually move the heading bug over a little bit. This way, please. And engage autopilot. And there we go. Smooth handoff, can barely tell. Okie dokie. We're looking for 1, 2 tiny towns, and then when we get to this area here, I'll read about what's next. Enjoy the sightseeing and lacking me rambling. I'll see you in a little bit. Alright, just enjoying the incredible landscape with you. This is definitely one of the most beautiful bush trips of the entire lot, if not the most beautiful. There's our town. We're supposed to be looking for right here on the peninsula. I don't know what goes on there, but it looks pretty busy and exciting. They even have their own little airport. So as we pass by that, let's read about what's next. I don't know where we were. Oh, here we go. Turn to the east-southeast and skirt the shore of Mayo Bay, and then sight Pova Bay. Track Route 1 corridor to the village of Poya, which lies along the Poya River, where it meets Poya Bay. And then right after that, we're going to follow Route 1 to the river, and then we'll read about the airport later. I'm just hoping we could get a better view of the town from here, but we're too close. That's okay. Oh my gosh, look at that. I'll say we're going to go outside, but that's stunning. Looking down the valley with the road. Let's set our heading bug, and then we'll look back at the town where we just came from. Here we go. So we're looking for a town here, and then a river there, which isn't showing up. I bet if I do this. Nope. Where's the river? There it is. There's a river there, and then the airport. So let's hop outside, look back at the town. There we go. Look at that beautiful town that's hanging out on the peninsula. Oh my goodness. And then you go out in your backyard and get your little hot tub or pool, whatever, and then you look at the mountains. Oh, man. Crazy. Why do I live in the middle of Minnesota? If I had a hot tub in the backyard, I'd be looking at the sound wall blocking the freeway noise. Which I have convinced people is a waterfall because we live by a pretty prominent creek as well. So I've told people, yeah, that's just the waterfall. And they're like, oh, cool. And then it takes them a while to realize it's a highway. But there's no hot tub anyway, so no mountains either. Anyway, so here we are heading up towards the mountains, towards your town, towards your river, and then we'll reconvene and talk about landing this thing. See you in a moment. Alright, time to do something about landing this airplane. Let's turn off autopilot because we can. Did it turn off? It did not. Yes, it did. And let's fly out here. Let's check the reference image again. Actually, we never read about it, did we? Turn into the southeast course in sight, the Guarna Bay in the distance, just to the west of the bay, lies the airport. Here's the bay. The airport's way over there. Ooh, let's bring back those throttles, not over speed. It's along the water with some trees. And we look over here, and it's along the water, presumably behind some trees. So let's fly out to the water so we can get a straight sight line at the airport. Maybe it'll make it a little bit easier for us. Also lose some altitude, but not too much altitude because then we won't see it as well. So we'll stick around 3 grand or so, give or take. So I will give it some throttle so we stop descending, but nose down so we speed up at the same time. That way we can keep going because we don't need to slow down quite yet. Looking back towards the island. Got the mountains there. And some like trees and desert mixed together. I don't know what you would call that. Wait a second. Did you see those little peaks? That's really cool. Keep an eye on what we're doing here. 3,000 holding nicely even with the turbulence. Speeding up as well. Perfect. And looking back up to the beautiful ocean. Very cool. Alrighty. Let's see here. Still too early to check out the sight lines of the runway, probably. What I mean by sight line is looking straight down the runway so it's easier to see. Because I ain't seen nothing yet. We're actually pretty close. So let's bring back throttles. We can nose up to slow down, but the throttles will keep us from going up. There we go. 3,100 now. Turbulence. We don't need to slow down that much, so pitch down again a little bit and throttle so we don't descend. I don't quite see our runway. I think that's it right there. That's what I'm aiming for. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it because something just rendered in. So I really don't want to lose track of what I'm doing, but I don't want to not look around. Oh my gosh, just beautiful. Looks like a jungle though. There might be some scary stuff in there. You know how I am with animals. That's why I like islands where they're very small. You know right away if there's an animal. Whoops, wait a second. Maybe that's the runway. No, that has to be the runway. That has to be it. But with little islands, you know, you would know if they're animals or not. Also, likely big animals won't even make it to the island because they won't swim that far, and or there's nothing on the island for them, so then I will feel safe. Like, I love nature, but I'm scared of animals. Big ones, small ones. I am scared of animals. It's quite terrible, but I haven't had any issues with animals. But they scare me. Alright, that is definitely our runway. Gear going down. And we'll do flaps in a moment here. They start to slow down, but not too early. Not that we're in a hurry, but we don't have to slow down a mile away. And first set of flaps. Look at the ocean one last time. Beautiful. Look back at the mountains one last time. Even more beautiful. And now pay attention to what we're doing. And we'll land. And second set of flaps in just a moment. There's route 1. Second set of flaps. Inner fuel has barely been consumed, so I assume the stall will be above the red tape. Oh boy, what are you doing? Don't go down yet. Come on. So we're going to just stay about 80, 75, 78 or so. No fuel ground effects, and then land. Just checking out the highway and things. And coming in. Keep an eye on that speed. Whoops. Getting kind of turbulent though. So let's see here. I don't want our speed to get too low because I want to have enough control in case it turbulences us into the trees. But we have a long area before the runway after these trees, so that is good. I still have some throttle engaged so we don't descend into the trees. In fact, I do not want to go any slower than this. This is too slow. So nose down a little bit and throttles a little bit. There we go. Now we're beyond the trees. Now I will come down here. Throttle's back, so we descend. We're too fast to touch down, so we're going to round out gently. There we go. Ground effects are right there. And stall onto the runway. Nope, see, stalled in the right spot now ever since I restarted. Nose wheel down gently. Brakes, flaps coming in. Okay, so it's a different day now in real life, like I said, and now it's not stalling early. So I don't know what changed, but I got to relearn the touchdown point of this plane. But anyway, not terrible. Could be better. Let's keep going. I think final leg, right? I think so. Alrighty, repair and refuel, although we didn't use any fuel really. And yeah, final leg, November whiskey. Okie dokie, well, let's keep it like that. What do we need to do? Let's set up autopilot for the last time. Flight director, there we go. You'll use the heading bug. Let's set the heading bug for now. Vertical speed, 1100 feet per minute. And flaps down 1. Where do they put us? Yeah, we're going to have to do some taxiing, I think. We're going to have a little bit of back taxi. Okay, cool. So let's do that while we read about where we're going. How do I do that? There we go. And we got parking brake on? We do. Alright, what does it say? After lifting off from the airport, fly to the east and pass over Guarno Bay. Alright, that's right away. So let's keep reading here. Whoa, come on, turn. You can do it. Come on, you can do it. From the bay, sight Malabou Bay to the southeast. From the town of Malabou lies inland of the bay where Route 1 crosses the river of the same name. Okay, so we're going to go over the bay, which is right by us, and then look for the town. And then the highway crosses the river. Let's read the next thing while we're at it, I guess. Continue on a southeast course, crossing over Teremba Bay inside the outpost. Not a pillager outpost in Minecraft, but a real-life outpost of Aotam in the distance. The village is located along Route 1, north of the Aotam River. So we're going to cross the bay, look for a town with the highway crossing the river, and then we're going to follow the highway until we get to an outpost by a river. And then after that, we'll read the last two things. Okay, pretty straightforward, I think, right? Not much different than anything else we've been doing, so boom, boom. Town with a river, town with an outpost. And then we'll take it from there. Just looking how smooth those hills are out there. I assume they're supposed to be smooth. That is super cool. There's been so much vegetation, it's cool to see something smooth. Ooh, look at these. People get to live by the airport, hang out on their patios, sip on their sodas and teas, watching crazy turtles fly airplanes. Or pretend they can fly airplanes. Airspeed is live, has been alive, and try to stay in the middle of the runway, please. And there we go, there's 70. And then 80. 1, 2, and 3, and up we go. And brakes out the wheels, flaps coming, or gear coming up, I should say. And we'll stay this way for just a moment. And then flaps coming in. And we are exactly where we want to be in terms of orientation. So let's hit the heading bug is right too. Let's autopilot right now. Why not? Why not? Are we going to make this? We'll make it. We're fine. Yep, see? Nothing to see here. Keep an eye on that tropical island with the palm tree right there instead. Have a look at that instead because we're kind of close to the train, that's why. Alright, we'll look around here for a minute. Whoa, hello. And we'll get to some sightseeing. I just want to check out this island. That's beautiful. Looks like a classic deserted island with one tree and no people. Alrighty, looking around over here just to get an idea where we are. There's the bay. Remember, there's a town on the other side of the bay. So we'll look for that in a moment. Oh man, this is so beautiful. The very, very, very shallow water. Deeper water, deep water. And when we were in Cancun, we were at a resort and the water was really shallow for a really long time. Oh, there's a boat making a wake going down the river. cool. And another boat crossing over. Is that the town we're supposed to be looking for? Actually, I think this is all part of the town we're supposed to be looking for. I guess they said a village. So that would make sense. But I don't see any village people. Alrighty, next order of business is this other town where it crosses a river. So let's get our heading set correctly. Already was. So I'll give you some sightseeing. And a minute or two later, probably just a minute later for you, we're going to be at this town crossing the river. And we'll read about what's next. You know. Alright, river has been spotted here and here. So there's a highway that goes over that river. You can hop outside and have a look. There's your highway here, Route 1. Coming down and it crosses the river. So we're about to get there. So let's read about what is next on our final leg here. Called Tom, we already talked about that. Tomo. Gain a visual of St. Vincent Bay to the southeast. Easily identified by its large number of islands. Okay. Wherever that is. Where's the large number of islands? Well, there's a bay here with a large number of islands. Must be here because the airport is just 2 minutes after. Okie dokie. So, large number of islands. There we go. The town of Tomo is located on the shore of the bay on the southern end. So that should be pretty easy to spot. From there, pass over the river and land at Tontouta. Tontouta International Airport, located just inland of a number of small, low islands and marshes. That'll be fun to spot. Looks like a huge airport, so that'll be easy to land on as well. Alright, so that'll conclude the trip, I think. Do we have another leg left, or is this it? Well, this is it. This has to be it, because it ends right here. Yeah, so... Oh, time to make a change here in our... There we go. In our navigations, we're going to go there. There's our town. And then we land. So, what, minute and a half, 2 minutes of sightseeing for you. And then we'll come in for landing and conclude this thing. I'm kind of sad this one's over, to be honest. I don't say that very often, but that's just how it is. So, see you when it's time to land for the final time. In the New Canton... No, whatever. Caledonia, not Caledonia. New Caledonia bush trip. See you in a moment. Alright, we're not quite at the town we're supposed to look for, but the airport hasn't spotted because there is the runway lights right there. So let's Make some adjustments here, and then we'll get all lined up, and we'll look at the town, which is right there. You can see it from here, and we'll get a better view as we go by. But we're about to land. Final leg of the bush trip. I'm going to miss this one. But we have 2 left for the Oceania World Update. One of them being Hawaii, which, as I said, at the first leg of this trip, we've done a lot of Hawaii flying for some reason. So I'm saving that one for last because we were just in Hawaii for something else. Throttle's back, so we start descending. Autopilot's going to send us throttle back so we don't overspeed and to buy us more time to come down. Because we're pretty high, so throttle's back even more, because the more we slow down laterally, the more time we have to come down vertically. There's our town again that we're supposed to look for. But why would we be over there if airport is over here? I'm still using autopilot for just because I can. I know the other leg does hand flying at this point, but I want to use autopilot right now. Looking around, these marshes and things are so cool. So cool. There could be ILS or something for this if I looked at the VFR map. I'm not going to worry about it. Just looking around, enjoying things. Just amazing. Look at that. Wow. Alrighty, should we turn in here a little bit more? I am curious if there, I am curious if there's ILS. I need to come down even more here. I'm going to look just because I'm curious. Fill in for me, please. Here we go. Come on. Come on. Oh, I want to click right on that. There's ILS. 109.9. Nav 109. I want nav 1, please. 109. How do I change this? Where's my nav 1 thing? Whatever. I better pay attention to what I'm doing. 0.9, 109. Oh, it goes like, what? There we go. I knew there's a way to do it. 109.9. Come on. This is going to take too long. How do I get the outside numbers? There we go. 109.9. I'm going to totally miss the runway because I'm screwing around with this. Put that over there. And if we do this and we do approach, it should get us down to the runway. Yep. Gear down. And first set of flaps. Let's get some throttle. Oh, why aren't you doing the approach? Oh, because we were above it, maybe? Yeah. Because we're not below it. Darn it. Alright, hang on. Let's try something. Let's kill autopilot. Forget it. Forget it. So, if we were below glide slope, it would have taken us in. But I was above glide slope because I was so busy screwing around, I missed it. Let's see what happens though if I go flight director again and I do nav, which is localizer, and then I do approach in a second. Soon as we get this, I'll engage autopilot like this and then approach. Glide slope is armed. Okay. No, you're going to take us into the ground. Okay, autopilot's really going to crash us right now. Forget you. Full flap, gear down. Glide slope was armed, but I don't know, did not want to intercept the glide slope. It lined us up with localizer though, but whatever. I must have missed something. But you see it come up here, right? It all came up. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why I didn't. Maybe we were too close. Maybe we were below minimums or something. But anyway, had I thought of that 10 minutes ago, we could have set that up. That would have been fun. Anyway, we're under control. Much smoother with us doing it anyway. So here we go over the trees. Our speed is a little fast, but good. We're going to go over a river. I want to look at the river, but we can't. We're perfectly on glide slope, so let's go 500 feet per minute down. Bring back throttle so we descend, using pitch for speed. Finite movements. We have a tailwind again. Let's clear these trees before we nosedive down. We have an incredibly long runway. Nothing to worry about here. Whoa, a little bit of turbulence. We'll keep our throttles engaged a little bit. And then throttles back now over the threshold. Come down, round out a little bit. Whoa. Now it's stalling ahead of time like before. See? Interesting. And gentle in the middle. Whoa. That tailwind really screwed us up a little bit, but that's okay. Brakes at the top of the wheels, flaps coming in. And we made it just like that. Nothing too challenging on that bush trip. But it wasn't a beginner one either. So there you go. Hour and 11. Yeah, since I started this video, I was going to say, what the heck? Like it took longer than that to do the trip. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Leave a like, even if you normally don't do that. That way people can see we exist. Play the algorithm game a little bit. And subscribe so when the next video drops, which may be another bush trip. We've got 2 to go. I'll see you then.